NASCAR fans understand the dangers of a sport in which drivers race door to door and trade paint on a regular basis at speeds approaching 200 miles per hour. Indeed, the element of danger has always been a big part of NASCAR's appeal. Fans frequently cheer for wrecks, and some racegoers are disappointed if they attend a clean race. Thankfully, crashes as horrific as the ones depicted here are rare. Are you also a wreck lover? And do you prefer to see as much damage as possible?
21, big crash, up and over.
Let me know in the comments. 1960 Daytona Modified Sportsman Race. This spectacular crash happened during a modified sportsman car race at Daytona International Speedway in 1960. It is still the largest wreck in NASCAR history, with 37 cars involved out of a field of 73. This honor is almost undoubtedly permanent, as NASCAR no longer allows fields of this size. Surprisingly, there were no fatalities or serious injuries. Lee Petty, 1961 Daytona.
They said Lee Petty just went over turn 3 and 4 wall.
Petty's career was cut short by this crash, in which he suffered a crushed chest, punctured lung, fractured collarbone, and broken leg, among other injuries. He was in a coma for several days and spent the next 4 months in the hospital. Lee Petty later explained, in a massive understatement, that it was a left turn and we went straight. Richard Petty summarized his father's accident as follows: neither car had anything left of it. There was blood all over the place, and they had just taken Daddy out of the car and loaded him into the back of an ambulance. He had no life. 1970, Richard Petty Darlington. Throughout his long career, Richard Petty has survived numerous terrifying crashes, and this one at Darlington Raceway was one of the worst. Prior to the introduction of head and neck support devices, any wreck involving flipping and rolling could be fatal. Although the Petty family is the most famous in NASCAR history, crashes have taken their toll on Petty drivers. Lee Petty survived a racing accident that ended his career. Unfortunately, the youngest Petty driver was not so lucky. Adam Petty, Richard's grandson and Kyle's son, was killed in a Busch Series practice at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in 2000. Do you find this video interesting so far? Give the video a like and subscribe for a lot more information. We'll move on to the next one soon. Richard Petty, 1980 Pocono. This crash would undoubtedly look worse if the video wasn't in slow motion, but suffice it to say that the impact was powerful enough to break Richard Petty's neck. He chose not to notify NASCAR about the injury in order to continue racing. Officials didn't find out for several weeks. Following this crash, Petty would win only 8 more races in his career. Some believe this was the start of the end for him as a top-level driver. Bobby Allison, 1987 Talladega.
And went flying literally into that catch fencing.
Talladega Superspeedway's high speeds have long been blamed for contributing to the dangers of flying cars. Following Bobby Allison's 1987 wreck, NASCAR installed catch fences to improve fan safety. The video shows how little of the fence and his car was left after Allison ripped through it at nearly 200 miles per hour. Michael Waltrip, 1990 Bristol, Busch Series. You might think after watching this video, there's no way a human could survive that crash. Waltrip collides with the wall head-on in one of the most brutal hits in NASCAR history. Waltrip's car explodes into hundreds of pieces, and it appears that he could not have survived in the wreckage. Waltrip not only survived, but went on to win 2 Daytona 500s and launch his own racing team. Hey guys, before we move further, I have one question for you. What is the top speed of cars in NASCAR? If you know the answer, then do let me know in the comment section below. Now, let's continue. Rusty Wallace, 1993 Talladega. Rusty Wallace was involved in one of the worst crashes of his career at Talladega Superspeedway. Following his barrel rolls through the Talladega infield, little remained of his racing machine. Wallace broke his wrist in the crash. Wallace had been in a similar accident just 2 months before at Daytona. Without these 2 jarring incidents, Wallace would have likely won the season title, which he lost to Dale Earnhardt by only 80 points. Dale Earnhardt, 1996 Talladega. Dale Earnhardt was a master of Talladega, winning a record 10 Cup races there. Even he, however, was not immune to the carnage that all too frequently occurs at the superspeedway. Dale Earnhardt gets the short end of the stick in this 1996 Talladega race, in a crash that looks eerily similar to his fatal crash at Daytona in 2001. Following the crash, Earnhardt was visibly shaken as he was helped from his shattered race car. Geoff Bodine, 2000 Daytona Truck Series. This is one of the most shocking crashes in NASCAR history. Geoff Bodine's survival of being thrown into the fence, 2 fireballs, and multiple hits at one of NASCAR's fastest tracks is incredible. Many observers suspected that Bodine had been murdered. When all was said and done, almost nothing remained of his truck, but thankfully, Bodine survived to race another day. Michael Mcdowell, 2008 Texas qualifying. Michael Mcdowell deserves credit for making qualifying interesting for possibly the first time in NASCAR history. This crash is also the reason that many fans are familiar with Michael Mcdowell. Mcdowell walked away from this incredible wreck with a wave to the fans, if not a smile on his face, a testament to NASCAR's safety improvements. Carlos Pardo, 2009 NASCAR crash death in Mexico. This horrifying crash demonstrates how dangerous tracks can be in the absence of modern safety precautions. When Pardo's car collided with the exposed end of the inside wall, it literally disintegrated. Pardo actually won this race because he was in the lead at the time of the crash, and the race was called after his death. If you're a racer, I suppose this is the best option. Carl Edwards flies into the fence, 2009 Talladega. In the spring 2009 Talladega race, coming off turn 4, relative unknown Brad Keselowski moved to the inside and began passing Carl Edwards for the lead. Edwards attempted to block Keselowski, and the rest is history. Since then, the two drivers have been at odds. Although flying debris injured 7 fans, NASCAR is grateful that no one was killed in the incident. Drivers have since expressed concern that flying cars will cause a fatality at one of the restrictor plate tracks. Elliott Sadler, 2010 Pocono. 2.5-mile Pocono Speedway is known for its dull racing, but it is also capable of producing incredible wrecks. Elliott Sadler's 2010 Pocono crash was one of the most severe in NASCAR history in terms of force and impact. Sadler walked away shaken but unharmed thanks to the safety of the cars and some good fortune. The majority of the footage in this video is from Kurt Busch's crash. Skip to 136 to see Sadler's wreck. Busch's crash was also spectacular, though not nearly as hard as Sadler's. NASCAR's 2020 Daytona 500. Ryan Newman was one corner away from his second Daytona 500 victory. Ryan Blaney's big run, on the other hand, changed the course of his day. Newman spun back up the track and flipped. Corey LaJoie hit Newman on the driver's side, while flipping, launching him further into the air and down the track. The driver of the number 6 car was taken to the hospital, and fans awaited word on his condition. Fortunately, Newman was unharmed, but he had to sit out a few races until he felt ready to run again. Newman's full-time seat in the number 6 car was eliminated at the end of the 2021 season, and he has not raced in NASCAR since the championship race in Phoenix. 2015 Coke 0400. After a rain delay, Dale Earnhardt Jr. crossed the finish line at 2:40 a.m. ET as an innocent bystander. Denny Hamlin would spin and chaos would ensue. Dillon was on the bottom when Hamlin hit the number 3 car, which took off and shot him over 2 lanes of traffic before coming to a stop at the catch fence. The number 3 car landed upside down, with the engine and back of the car ripped off by the impact. Dillon was unharmed and even made a gesture to the fans as he exited the car. This was one of the most terrifying accidents in NASCAR history, demonstrating how much safety has improved for these drivers over the years. 2013 Drive 4 COPD 300. Kyle Larson's first NASCAR Xfinity Series race with Turner Stop Motorsports was shaping up to be a good one, with a top 5 finish and a chance to win at Daytona. However, when the sea parted off turn 4, Larson was quickly engulfed by Brad Keselowski's number 22 machine. Larson would return up the track and collide with the catch fence. Because of the impact, the car's engine and back end were ripped off. Larson was able to get out of the car on his own and was not injured as a result of the accident. It's one of the worst crashes in NASCAR history, involving the catch fence, highlighting why it's so important for safety. Larson would go on to win the NASCAR Cup Series title in 2021. So I think we are at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then give this video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will never miss any update. If you have any questions or queries in your mind, tell me in the comment box, and also check out our channel. You find really cool stuff.